Good morning, everyone. Hi, Catherine.
There she is.
Here I am. Yes, I'm here.
Wow,
and we're just.
I haven't got any sound.
Oh, hang on.
Yeah.
Here I am. Sorry, that was my fault. I was muted. Good morning, everyone. And hi, Catherine.
Hello.
So we have a few people to come, but actually one of them's just cancelled, so I may well start in a minute. But I just wanted to let everyone know, because there are some intermediate students here, but it's going to be a chair yoga class for those with mobility issues. So it's different from, say, an advanced chair yoga practice where we do lots of poses with the chair. So you might have got confused. And I did send an email to tell you that. But if you're interested in how to teach somebody, for example, or how you might work when you have a hip problem, or you can't stand, or you have a student who has problems, then you can use some of these methods that we're going to do today. And my mum is joining us, and she's a good candidate because she has her hip problems. So I've got someone called David Hoggs. I don't think you're called David. Who have we got there? I can't see your face. Hello, what's your name? Sorry. Hang on, I'm going to ask you to unmute.
Sally.
Sally, hi Sally. Welcome, hi. I'll call you Sally and not David, if that's all right.
Thank you.
Catherine, you might be pleased to know we have a fellow Portuguese speaker here. Susanna is joining us from Brazil, so you can converse. Catherine and I know each other from Portugal, and she's lived there for decades, so she speaks fluent Portuguese. And Hazel also joins us from Portugal. Are you still in Portugal, Hazel? Yeah? Okay, you're on mute, but anyway. So, yes, if you've got any questions, let me know. We're going to get started with this practice. So, apologies if it's a bit basic for the intermediate students, but I hope you'll find it interesting what I've devised for when you have those problems. So all you need... Sorry, Hazel, go on.
Sorry, yeah, I'm back in the UK.
Oh, you're back in the UK.
Yeah.
Okay, probably got better internet than before. All right, so let's mute you now, and we'll get started. So if you just grab your chair and sit in it. Sit in your chair, normal way. You might also need a bolster behind you. If you've got a kind of ordinary chair, an ordinary chair is fine. Let me see if I can get my mum's video on. Okay. All right. And then we sit on the front edge of the chair. So don't sit too far back. And I would recommend that you sit not on a blanket, because if you are sitting on a blanket, put the mat on the chair first and then a blanket, because the blanket is slidey. So if you're working on like the edge of the chair, or we're working on alignment, we don't really want to be sliding around on the chair, okay? Because also if you are sitting on the edge, you might slide off. So always put the mat on the chair and then the blanket on top if you need it for comfort. Make sure your feet are parallel. You've got your shin bones vertical and the thighs are parallel to the floor. So this is about alignment, so that the spinal muscles will lift and properly, and we can get the maximum lift in the chest. Okay, so Romana is here. Hi, Romana. If that's how you pronounce your name. Sorry if I've got it wrong. I can just see your logo, but if you could start your video, that would be great, so that I can see you. Okay, so plant your feet squarely down. Now, I want you to feel as if you have something between the knees, okay? And resist the knees towards each other. Don't let them come in, but resist the knees towards each other by pressing the big toe and the in heel down into the floor. And this will start the process of strengthening the outer thighs. So I'm assuming that a couple of you won't have many props, although I can see that a lot of you have got yoga chairs. But if you have got props, you can take something like a couple of foam blocks or a brick. Good morning. Nice to see you. Hi there. We've only just started, so you're fine. And we're just working on the base at the moment. So I've got a couple of blocks between my knees. I'm just squeezing the blocks between my knees to feel that contraction of the outer thigh. And often when you've got hip problems, this area is quite weak. So you want to kind of squeeze the legs towards each other. If you don't have anything to put between the knees, then just sit with the feet apart and work on pressing the feet down into the floor. Okay. Now, at the same time, extend the arms down. Extend the arms down. Feel that the shoulders are rolling back towards the wall behind you. Oh yeah, that's good. That's good. Squeeze something between the knees. That's it. Okay, now we're going to keep that squeezing action and take the arms forwards. Now, if you've got shoulder issues and you can't raise the arms up, then you can try and bring the arms out or just keep stretching them forwards. Otherwise, see if you can bring the arms all the way up and lift up and try and touch the ceiling with the fingertips. So now we've got this contraction here and we've got this length here in the sides of the body. If the arms are stiff, you can just bring the arms wider so that you can work on straightening the arms, and make sure you keep breathing. So soft inhalation, soft exhalation. That's it. And then bring the arms down. Stretch to the fingertips. Yeah, don't need the mask. Well, maybe you do, but take the mask off if you can so you can breathe properly. All right, bring the arms down now. That's it. Stretch to the fingertips. And now we're going to take the arms forwards again, but this time, if you can, interlock your fingers and turn your palms away. So it's a bit more narrow in the arms. So if this is difficult because of arthritis or what have you, then keep the hands apart. Or the other thing you can do if you've got a belt is hold a belt like that. And then you've got something to pull on. Sorry, Romana, I'm making you run in and out of the room. Okay, so either hold the belt or interlock your fingers and take the arms up and stretch up. That's it. Keep the feet pressing firmly, keep the buttock bones pressing evenly into the chair, and then bring the arms forwards and down. One more time. If you know how to change the interlock, don't worry if you don't, change the interlock. That's it. So you just move the fingers over. You don't change the structure, you just move the fingers over one. So this interlock, and then you move the fingers over. And again, turn the palms and lift the arms up. That's it. Good. Keep your chin up so you're not dropping the head forwards. And then bring the arms down. Okay, well done. So moving on from the arms, I've got a list somewhere. What I'm supposed to be doing. So moving on from the arms, we're going to do a little twist. Just get rid of the blocks for the moment, whatever you've got between your knees, and bring your feet, if you can, together, knees and feet together. Okay, now we're going to turn towards the right side. So as I turn, I want to put my hand behind me. If I've got no back to the chair, I can put my arm through the chair. If I've got a chair back, I've got to put my hand here or hold here if there's no room. And bring the left hand onto the outer right thigh and turn towards the right. That's it. So we're doing a gentle twist, but if this is too much in the spine, if you've got problems there, then you can just turn a little bit. Just take the hand to the front of the knee. Otherwise, bring the left hand across the right thigh now and turn. And look over your left shoulder. Yeah, that's it. Right arm behind, left hand in front. So now we're going to turn and look over the left shoulder. Other shoulder, that's it. Right shoulder, thank you, Catherine. Look over the right shoulder. Oh, it's been a long day already and it's only 10 o'clock. All right, now bring the chest forwards, change sides. So when you turn, try and get the whole trunk to turn, but the knees stay facing forward. So we're massaging the paraspinal muscles. And then looking over that left shoulder, looking over the left shoulder. So we're turning towards the left now. We've changed sides. We're turning the other way. That's it. But you've got to bring your left arm across towards the right. Take your right arm across towards the left. That's it. That's it, yes. That's it. Okay, now keep lifting that chest up. Turn a little bit more. Keep the breath soft and smooth. And then on an exhalation, come back to the front. And then repeat. So you're going to go over to the right again. But this time, if you take the arms up, so from this position, with the legs together, take the arms up and then turn to the right. You'll get more extension, more opening. Try and get the left hand to grab the outer right knee and the right hand by the hip and turn more. If you can get the arm through the chair, move the arm further back. That's it. Yes, well done. Okay, and now come back to the front. And last time, so raise the arms up, stretch up, turn, bring the right hand across to the outer left knee, left hand behind you or on the side of the hip. That's it. Yeah, you can bring that left arm down, Romana. Bring the left arm down. Yes, that's it. But turn your chest. That's it, yes. Well done. Good. Okay, and then come up and release. Now, one of the things we're also going to need in this session, and I forgot to tell you, is a wall, if you've got it, or another chair. So let me show you what that looks like. We're going to go towards the wall. Still with the legs bent, still sitting on the front edge of the chair, and we're going to go to the wall here and then see if we can walk the hands up the wall to get that extension through the body. Okay, now if you don't have a wall space, because I know some of the configurations in rooms are tricky, you can use another chair. So if you've got room there to, or bring another chair or a table in front or something like that, yeah, so that your mum can stretch forward there. Otherwise, if you can turn the chair towards the wall and sit facing the wall, or the bed or another chair, yes, sit on the front edge, take the arms up and then go forwards and put your hands on the wall and walk up. Yeah, that's it. So just be careful here that you don't push your lumbar forwards. So keep the buttocks firmly down and go as far up the wall as you can. That's it. Well done. Yeah. So the wall is giving you something to aim for. It's giving you support for the hands so you can keep climbing up the wall without having to hold your hands up in space. And the chair gives you some grounding. So your buttocks are pressing down, your feet are pressing down. That's it. Good, well done. And then slowly come back and come up. All right, and now we're going to come back to the front. So this is where we introduce, so the standing poses, but seated. So this is really quite interesting work. So I'm just going to show you, for those that don't know, the standing poses are these kinds of ones where we stand and we go down into a bend, or we bend this leg, all kinds of different shapes. When you've got mobility issues, hip issues, and you can't weight bear on your feet, you can still do the same shapes on the chair. Similar shapes. They're not all going to be the same because obviously your buttocks are back from the knees, but they're very similar and you can still get the extensions in the trunk. So we're going to do first of all a version of Warrior 2. Okay, so watch what I'm going to do first. I'm going to take one leg out to the side like this, and the foot is down on the floor, toes are pointing forwards. The other leg I'm going to move to the side. So this knee is actually at an angle. So there are different versions of this. This is for those with really limited mobility. Okay, the other version is obviously this one, but this is a lot harder if you've got hip problems. So I'm right on the front edge of the chair. I've walked this leg as far out as I can, and this leg is bent. Okay, and then I'm just going to stretch the arms out to the sides. So have a little practice. So do watch out if you're on a blanket on the edge of your chair. Don't slide off your chair, Sally, will you? Please. Okay. And see if you can walk that left foot out. And then your right leg, thigh is kind of at an angle, it's forwards. The foot is in line with the arch of the back foot, but don't worry too much about that at the moment. Just get used to this stretch between the inner thighs. You can even do it with both legs bent, okay? But we're aiming to get this left leg straight and then the arms out to the sides, and you can look along your right arm. You can even do it with the arms down. Okay, so you get the idea. All right, and then bring your legs back into the center. So you release, you soften. Don't overhold these, especially those with the hip issues. Just practice them, regularly, fluidly, just for half a minute each side. So let's do the other side. So first walk this leg out as far as you can, the right leg. Toes are pointing forwards. Then let this foot come to the side a bit. So we're widening the gap. We're widening here. The knees are getting further apart. And then extend the arms and look along your left arm. Keep the lift in the chest. You can also do it with the arms up. Okay, you can do it with the arms down. All kinds of possibilities are there. So if you've got a shoulder problem and you can't hold the arms up, or even if your breath is tight, if you've got breathing problems, you can keep the arms down. It's no problem at all. Okay, and then come back to the center, bring the legs in, and then we're going to see if we can go forwards over the legs. So hold the legs with the hands and roll the body forwards and release the arms down for a moment. Just let the head roll. If this brings any blood to the head, then keep the head up. That's it. Okay, and then inhale, come up. Yes. All right, so the second one we're going to do about 3 or 4 of these different movements with the legs. The second one we're going to do is triangle pose. Triangle pose. So legs should be straight for this. So what you do here, I'll show you, is that leg comes back again. And this leg, this time, we try and bring it forwards straight. So it's a much bigger stretch between the thighs, but you're not weight bearing. You can hold onto the chair and lift yourself up to practice weight bearing, but keep the buttocks down for those that need to. Okay, so first of all, stretch the left leg out. Then stretch the right leg as much as you can. Don't worry if the legs are still bent or you can't get a wide extension. I've been doing this for quite a few years now, so I can extend my legs. You may only have your feet this far apart, absolutely fine. And then we're going to stretch the arms and bend to the right. Bend to the right. You can put your hand on the chair seat, you can put your other hand on your hip, but try and stretch as much as you can. You can hold the chair leg with the right hand, and your left arm can either come up or be by your side or be on your hip. That's it. That looks good. So try and press into the outer edge of the left foot and press into the right foot and lever yourself back up. Again, soften the knees, bring the legs in. Just wait there for a moment or two. And always in between sides or in between poses, make sure that you're still breathing, that there is that regular breath, that you're not kind of rushing for breath. Stretch the right leg out to the side. Which one is it? Yeah, the right leg out to the side. So this long extension of the back leg, and then can you stretch the left leg out? So now the toes of the left foot are pointing towards the left. Toes of the right foot, try and turn them in towards to the left. And then again, stretch the arms, bend to the left, hold the chair leg, stretch the other arm up or keep the arm down, whichever feels good for you. Watch that you're not rolling forward, so keep that right shoulder rolling back. Yeah. I think probably, Hazel, you could put your foot on a block because that chair's quite high, isn't it? So if you, yeah, the reason you're not getting your legs straight is just because the chair seat's quite high. So if you put your foot on a block, yeah, that's it. Okay, all right, and then come up and walk your feet in and bring your feet together. Just bring your knees and feet together. Take a few breaths. All right, so just watch the next one. So this combines those two movements, okay? And it's called Pajarakanasana. So it's a side extension pose. I'm going to start with this leg bent, and I'm going to go down. I don't know if you can see this. I'm holding the chair leg. Can you see that? I've got my hand on the chair leg. I've got this leg bent and I'm leaning to my right. And then I'm going to see if I can walk this foot out. And I'm in a seated Pajarakanasana, seated side flank stretch. Now, there is an arm movement to this. You can either keep the hand here, you can bring the arm up, or you can try stretching the arm over your ear. Okay? But don't worry about the arm at the top. Try and get the trunk to lean towards the right and that left leg to go straight. Okay? So start off with your right leg first. Right leg is bending, this one, out to the side. It's sort of just a bit forwards of the chair leg. You can move it back to get more opening, but if you're stiffer, bring the foot forwards. And then lean down to your right first. Then stretch the leg out in that order, yeah. Because this makes it more accessible to people that can't bend. Yeah, that's it, Sally. Hold the chair leg. And now you're pushing your hand down onto the chair leg. Roll that left shoulder back. So try and lean back towards the back of the chair. That's it. Yes, good. And then see if you can bring your arm up and maybe bring the arm over. If it's too stiff for you, keep the arm back this way. That's it. And try and turn the chest and look up under the shoulder, under the upper arm. Don't forget to breathe. And then come up, release, turn the trunk to the front. Take a few deep breaths. Okay, second side, so that left leg comes out to the side. Toes are pointing off towards the left. Then you go down first. Go down first, hold the chair leg. Then walk your right leg out to the side. That's it, because it makes it a little bit easier to access if you go down first before straightening this leg. Roll the right shoulder back. And then see, can you bring the arm up? Can you bring it back? Can you bring it over? Or, if the breath is difficult, if the shoulders are tight, just keep the hand on the hip. And just work on rolling the trunk. Straighten that top arm, Hazel. Hazel, bring the arm behind your leg. The left arm behind your leg. Yeah, that way. That's better. Much better. Good. And then come up and release. Bring your feet, legs together. Sit nice and tall. In fact, let's bring the feet nice and wide on the mat and just roll forwards and release the arms down. Release the shoulders. Let your head drop, unless you've got high blood pressure, in which case, or low blood pressure, sorry, in which case keep the head up. Okay, and then you can start to come up from there. Now, if you can stand up, you're going to use the chair for the, which one? Yeah, we've got one more standing pose to do. If you can stand up, we're going to use the chair this way. We're holding on to the back of the chair and we're going to step 1 foot back and just work on stretching that back leg and walking down the side of the chair. Okay, if you can stand. If you can't stand, you're going to keep seated and go back to the stretch at the wall. Okay, so you're right there, Romana, with the standing, yeah? Your mum's okay there. Good, all right. So if you hold on to the back of your chair, so it's nice and steady, and then step your left foot back. Step your left foot back. My right foot, sorry, I should have said, my right foot is sort of under the chair, but my left foot is going back, whatever distance you can. That's it. And then we're going to see if we can come down the side of the chair. So we're going into a forward bend down the side of the chair. Now, you might end up resting your chest on the back of the chair, which is okay. You might end up resting your head. You might end up just inclining forwards a little bit. Try and stretch that back leg straight and press the heel down towards the floor. Okay? Let me know any difficulties. Okay, don't be in agony, please. Yeah, so Susanna, if you go slightly further forwards under that chair, put your right foot further under the chair. This is really nice. And now go forwards. You rest your collarbones on the top of the chair. It's really nice. Just go down like that. Yeah, you sort of mean. So, and I mean, it would be nicer with a blanket, of course, but it's just a nice way to rest the chest, which is really helpful for people that don't go forwards very far. Okay, and now come up. We're going to change legs. Yes. So I've got my feet under the chair. I'm stepping my right leg back. My right leg's a bit tighter than my left. I don't know how you feel in yours, but I can feel the stretch in the calf much more on this side, and you might feel the same. So if it's too much, then bring the foot slightly further forwards. But if you can, have a nice big stride. Hips and pelvis are facing the top of the chair, and then walk the hands down the chair back. If you can, rest the chest on the chair, or just go forwards. Yeah, so we keep the back heel more or less down on the floor. It might lift a tiny bit, but try and keep that heel down. So we've got this really nice extension through the back of the right leg there. Yeah. That's it, good. Okay, and then come up and stand up. Walk the feet forwards and stand up. Good. So when you're using the chair back, if you've got, if it's just a balance thing, you know, with the standing poses, or a stamina thing, you can use the back of the chair to do these wide leg ones. You know, and you can turn, you can do Trikonasana that way, you can do Pajarakanasana that way. So you've always got the chair for balance, if it's a balance issue. But if it's a hip problem where you can't weight bear, it's better to do the poses on the chair. Yes, there's just a million different ways that we use chairs, and this is just one of them. Okay, so I think what we'll do is we'll have a practice at this. Now, what I'm going to teach you next, or show you next, is a version of seated forward bends using the chair. So they might not look like the finished product that we do on the floor, but they will have the same impact in the hip. So watch first. I'm going to go to the wall so that I can put my feet against the wall like this. So I've got, can you see, I've got my buttocks hooked on the edge of the chair, and I've got my feet against the wall straight. So obviously if you can't straighten your legs very well, you have to bring the chair a bit closer. That's okay. And then we're going to first of all go forwards like this for Pajarakanasana, or it's an upright Pajarakanasana. And then we're going to practice different leg positions. This one, for example, is the equivalent of Shavasana. And then we're going to see if we can bring the toes to go back for Triangamukha. Okay, so position yourself so that you're facing the wall again. But Hazel, your legs need to be straight when you stretch them out. Yeah. So Romena, I don't know if it's possible to move the camera down a little bit so I can see the seat. Oh, okay, you've got it on a table. That's fine. Yeah. Oh, that's good. Yeah, that's better. That's much better because now we're seated down. Lovely. All right. So see if you can stretch out your legs and touch the wall. Be on the front edge of your chair if possible. But if you need to sit back, that's absolutely fine. If you need the support behind you, please have it. And you can even put your feet against the sofa as well if you haven't got a wall space. The feet are slightly apart. For a more intense stretch, the feet can be together. And then take the hands forwards onto the wall. And walk up the wall, walk up the wall. So although you think you want to catch your feet, the more you walk up the wall, the closer your body will come towards your legs. And you'll feel that big stretch in the backs of the knees, thighs. Press your buttocks firmly down into the chair. That's it. Don't worry if the head doesn't touch the wall. Depends on proportions often. Good. All right, and then come back and sit nice and tall. And now bend your right leg and just bring your right foot flat to the floor. In fact, this is also Marichyasana 1 variation. If it was a more intermediate group and they could do this, you'd put the foot on the heel on the chair. Okay, but you can also build up to that by putting blocks under the bent leg foot like that so that the knee comes up a little bit. Okay, but if you're teaching someone for the first time and they've got limited mobility, the foot can just be on the floor like that. Okay, now again, we're going to go forwards. So bend the right leg, put the foot underneath the shin. It can go back a little bit more and then go forwards. And now you have to slightly turn the chest, the abdomen towards the straight leg. You can still have the feet apart, but one leg is bent, one leg is straight. That's it. Okay, and then come back and we'll change legs. So bend the left leg so that left foot's flat to the floor or on a brick. Right leg is extended. And then extend up and come forwards. Keep the buttock bones pressing evenly down. Feel the space in the lumbar spine. That's it. All right, and then come up and release. All right, now we're going to repeat that one because it's quite an important one for the hips. But what we'll do now, so before we had a bit of a gap between the legs, didn't we? We had the feet hip width and then we bent the leg. Now what we'll do is we'll bring the legs almost so they're touching each other. So when I bend this leg, it's touching the other leg. I'm trying to move that foot back. The heel might not come down to the floor, but the foot is going back a bit further. And now I'm going to go up. And those of you that want to, you can try and go down over that leg, maybe catch the foot, or just keep up on the wall and bend the elbows. So we're going a bit more into the forward bend action. Okay, so raise the arms, go forwards. Your right leg is bent, left leg is straight. And then if you want to go further, try sliding your hands down the wall towards the foot. That's it. Keep that left leg extending. So you have to be right on the edge of the chair so that the left leg is free. So don't sit too far back. If you do, you have to put the foot on a block. Yeah, that's it. Okay, and then come up. And then change sides. So right leg is forwards, left leg is bent. The legs are touching each other, they're close to each other. And then come up and go forwards. And then see if you can bend the elbows, go a bit deeper into that forward bend. Even slide the hands down towards the foot. But don't worry about that last bit if you're still working on the first parts of the pose. Good, well done. And then come up and release. Now there's one more movement. This is a little bit more challenging because it demands moving that foot further back. So you might get to a certain point and think, my thigh won't let me do it anymore. So that's okay, you're just extending that knee down. But if you can, you're going to turn the toes back. So the foot will flex the opposite direction, the thigh will move down, like that. And you can hold onto the chair now and go forwards, holding onto the back of the chair, like that. Okay, this is an equivalent of Chirangamukha. So just have a little play with that. So now we're walking that foot further back, further back. See if you can bring the foot underneath. If it doesn't go, don't worry. Yes. Watch that you're still on the chair, Sally. So, yeah, you look like you slid off a bit. Are you okay there? Yeah? Don't want to slide off. And then you can hold the chair and lean forwards over that bent leg. And those of you that can go further, you can bring the foot further back. That's it. Okay, and then come up and change. Last side. So the left leg, bring it back. So you're on the tiptoes. Keep walking the toes under the chair if you've got room. I know that some of the chairs are different, but see if you can get the top of the foot down on the floor and then lean forwards. Lean forwards. If it's easier to put the hands on the wall, do that. Good, and then come up and release. Now I'm going to face you so that you can see what the feet do next. But we're going to bring the soles of the feet, let me go back a bit. We're going to bring the soles of the feet together. Can you see that? So I'm on the edge of my chair and I've brought the soles of my feet together. I've got my hands beside me on the chair seat. That's it. And I'm widening the knees, but I'm keeping the buttocks nicely down, firmly down. Trying to roll the soles of the feet up towards the ceiling. Yes, and you could do it with the toes tucked on the floor as well. So it goes into that other pose, but this is with the soles of the feet together. Try and get the side of the feet down on the floor. And I wouldn't advise this next movement if you've got hip problems, but you can go forwards in this towards the wall. It's a bit hard on the feet, okay? It's a bit hard on the feet, so you might want to do that on a carpet. But I'm just showing you that for those that can go forwards. But if you've got hip problems, you might want to just stay seated upright. And then from there, see if you can extend the legs out to the sides. Upavishtakonasana. So the heels are extended, toes are up, legs are straight. And then again, hold on to your chair and see if you can come forwards. You can also go to another chair in front or to the wall. So just watch that you're not sliding. That's it. Good. Okay, well done. And then you can come up from there and bring the legs back together. Now there's one more thing I'm going to show you. This can be done with a bolster behind the back. So let me just show. So if you've got a normal upright chair with a chair back, put a cushion behind like that. If you've got one of these chairs with the back cut out, then just be careful, because when you go back, you have to press the upper back into the chair. So this is a reclining pose. We're going to lean back into the chair and stretch the legs forwards like that. Okay, so it's almost like an upright Shavasana or a back arch. So the more you lean back, the more you extend your legs, the more you extend your spine. And we're going to take the arms up, fold the elbows, and bring the elbows over the head. Like that. My heels are extending away. So I'm using a lot of muscles in my upper chest to get that opening. So hips slightly further forwards. Recline back as if you're lying on a sofa, but you've got the support in your upper back, and then you stretch the arms over and fold your elbows. So that's it. Make sure the head's nicely supported. Hold the elbows. That's it. If it's painful, then keep the arms by your sides. So fold the elbows. Yeah. And really press the shoulders back, press the chest, press the chest. I think probably, Sally, come away from the wall a bit. I know I've gone next to the wall, but I wasn't, yeah, because the bolster's pushing, yeah, that's it. Just a little bit. And when you go back, try and press your shoulders hard into, yeah, like that. Now stretch your arms back. Now we're getting a nice curve, much better. Yes, that's it. Push into the heels, Hazel, so the toes are up, yeah. That looks good, Romana, yes, nice. Okay, and then bring the arms back and release and sit up. Sit nice and tall. Okay, and then we'll do one more twist. Now this time, we're going to sit on the side of the chair. Now the reason for this is because we want to use the back of the chair to hold on to. And many of you will know this chair twist. It's called Pajarakanasana in the chair. So the chair back is on my right hand side. I'm sitting sideways on my chair. So can you organise yourself to sit sideways? Okay, so the chair back is on your right hand side, because what we're going to do is we're going to stretch up and turn and hold the back of the chair. Hold the back of the chair. All right, so inhale, raise the arms up, feet can be together or apart, hold the back of the chair. Hold the sides of the back of the chair. Yes, like that. And then turn and look over your right shoulder. So again, we're keeping the feet firmly down. We're mobilizing the paraspinal muscles. Make sure your left buttock stays firmly on your chair and doesn't shoot forwards. And that way you'll turn the body from the lower back and not from the hips. Then come back to the center. And then you've got to swing round to the other side. So you just walk your feet round, slide round. So now you've got the buttocks level at the back edge of the chair back's on your left, arms are coming up, and then turn, face the back of the chair, roll that left shoulder back, look over your left shoulder. That's it. Keep the hands apart, yeah, on the chair, yeah, either side of the chair back, that's it. Wide arms, wide elbows. Yeah, that's it. Well done. Okay, and then come back and release. All right, so if you can't get up and down to the floor very easily, you can do the final one, you can do on a sofa, you can do it on a bed, where we've got something underneath the backs of the knees. We're going to do Shavasana. If you can get down to the floor, you can put your legs on the chair for chair Shavasana, okay? If you can't get down to the floor, then you can lie on your sofa or lie on a bed, but have your legs supported. So imagine this is the sofa. Imagine this is the sofa. I'd sit on the edge of the sofa. I'd bring my legs up onto the sofa and then have something like a cushion under the backs of the knees. Make sure the head, I haven't got any support. Make sure your head is supported so it's not getting thrown back, and you'll be like that. If you can manage to get to the floor, then you can bring your legs onto the chair. You can even have the hips lifted slightly, like so. And again, have your head supported if you need it. And rest the arms, rest the trunk. Okay. So, whatever you're going to do, just make sure that you can rest. So, are you okay there with your mum? Is she all right getting down to the floor?
I think she'll just go on the sofa.
Yeah, that's brilliant. That's perfect. But make sure her head is, well, you know, because you're looking after her, but have her head nicely lifted. Yeah. That looks nice, yeah. And in fact, scoot to the end of the sofa a bit more, and then the legs can be lifted up. Yeah. That's great.
Go to the edge of it.
Yeah. And then maybe put something under the calves if you've got something, so the legs are slightly elevated. Okay, and then release your arms out to the sides. If you're wearing glasses, take them off. Yeah, hands can be either on the belly or out to the sides. And then completely relax. Let go of all effort. Make sure that you can breathe properly. So you might need to have the head slightly elevated. You might need a bit more space for the arms. And just gently focusing on the breath. Soft, smooth inhalations, soft, smooth exhalations. And if your mind gets distracted, just focus on those exhalations, inhalations, so the breath can quieten the mind, often giving you a bit more focus so that you don't get distracted. And really let go of all of that effort, all of that tension, and relax. All right, and then you're going to slowly come out of Shavasana, so you can roll to your side. Of course, you can stay there if you wish to. If you want to rest longer, just stay there. I've left a little bit of time for any questions, if you want to ask any questions. Otherwise, it's lovely to see you. You can always email me afterwards. There will be a chair mobility class every 2 weeks on a Wednesday. I think it's at 12:30 or 12. It starts next week actually. So that will be a regular class for people with mobility issues on a Wednesday lunchtime. Okay. All right. See you all again and enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks very much for coming.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Bye for now. It's really nice to see you.
Thank you so much, Rachel. Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye now.